Yo, have you heard about Anchor? It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Welcome, everyone, to the L7C podcast, OSU Buckeye edition. Today, we are going to be, going over our Ohio State Buckeyes and their last tune-up before we really start Big Ten play, as we played Akron this past Saturday and won 59-7. And we have the captain with us, Byron Mitchell. How are you doing today, sir?
I am doing fantastic.
Ooh, just a nice fantastic.
Yes, sir. Good day.
Okay. Well, as I just said, the Buckeyes won 59-7. And Byron, man, just take it away. How are you feeling about this, man? Like, what?
Overall, I was feeling great about the game. I had a few drinks at me, watching the game, so I was feeling good. I was very nervous after that first drive. Me and my brother Nate looked at each other and said, man, it's about to be a long game. Because on that, I think it was either Akron's opening drive or their second drive, they went down the field and scored. So it was 7-0. So I was very nervous, but then our defense stepped up and it was a good game.
Just going through the things, we saw McCord was the one who did get the start. He went 13 for 18, 319 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. What'd you think about Kyle McCord him getting the start and how he did, and what did you see?
I was okay with him starting. It was either going to be him or Jack Miller. Mm-hmm. Both, from what I've heard, both are really good quarterbacks because it's a 3-way race for the starting job. We all know C.J. Stroud won. So I was okay with Kyle McCord starting. You can tell in his first drive, he was very nervous. He was overthrowing receivers. But after that first drive, he calmed down, started making throws, and did it with 319 passing yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's true.
I think he had 1 pick.
Yeah, he had 1 pick. 1 pick.
Yeah.
So, and then you also had Henderson. He had 8 carries, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns. You had Garrett Wilson, like 4 receptions and 124 yards. And then you go to Chris Olave. Chris had 2 catches, 2 for 12. He did get a touchdown, though. So that was good on that. But Master T got 2 touchdowns as well. It's good to see him back in the rotation. Looks like we're rotating the running backs. But, yeah, Kyle was good. Jack Miller, he also got in. He was 5 for 8 for 66 yards. No touchdowns. But watching Kyle, it was just, I mean, for all those people who are like, oh, we need to go to him immediately. I don't think he showed that he was that much better than CJ Stroud. If not, I don't think he was better than CJ Stroud, to be honest.
I mean, from what I could see, he looked good, like I said, once he calmed down, but you can tell he was super nervous to start.
Oh, yeah. He was very, very nervous. I mean, it was also against Akron, too. Like you said, besides that first, when they scored and we were down 7-0, we were just like, oh, boy. Because, I mean, they only had one good player, and it was the quarterback, DJ Irons. I mean, he went 14 for 29, 115, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. And then he was on the ground, 15 carries, 17 yards. I mean, that was all they had, man. And, I mean, the second, because it was 14-7 in the first quarter. And then from there on, Akron did not score the rest of the game. So, all right, so what did you feel then, since they didn't score the rest of the game? about your beloved defense?
Like I said, I think the defense played great because Akron had a potential of getting like 458 passing yards against us. But I think the defense stepped up. I think we ended up sacking him 9 times, picked him off twice. One was a pick 6. So our defense stepped up. Hopefully, we can carry this defense throughout the season. But we'll see. We'll see. It's look very good, but I still am not confident in our defense.
I got you. If you go looking around then, Byron, because I feel like there's not really that much. It was our last tune-up before the Big Ten season officially really starts with Rutgers. And we love looking at the polls on these. We dropped again, man. We dropped to 11th in the coaches, and we went up to 10th. No, we went to 10th in the coaches, dropped to 11th in the AP. But I feel like the reason that we dropped those because Arkansas went up 8 spots.
Arkansas went up 8 spots by beating the beloved Texas A&M.
Yeah, the beloved Texas A&M, which we were literally just talking about how the 9th is coming, and Texas A&M's offense did not look good. They dropped to 15th. So if you're looking at the Big Ten teams, as we talk about in the top 25, Penn State is 4, Iowa is 5, we're 11, Michigan's at 14, Michigan State's at 17, and Wisconsin dropped out of the top 25 because of that game against Notre Dame. So now, Byron, going into Big Ten play, we got Rutgers up first, who put up a heck of a fight against Michigan.
Yeah, they almost won.
They lost 20-13 against Michigan. How are you feeling now? Because we're in Big Ten play now.
Nervous because the Big Ten always plays well against each other. Minnesota, they played a hell of a game against us in our opening. So I expect Rutgers to do the same thing, especially after they almost beat Michigan. So they played well. I expect them, like I said, play well against us. Hopefully, the defense we had against Akron shows up, and not the defense against Oregon,
or the defense
against Tulsa, or Minnesota. But yeah, so we'll see. It should be another good game for us. We should win, but again, just depends on the defense. And I'm actually not really worried about the offense because either our passing game, if our passing game's not doing well, our running game steps up, and vice versa. So,
you think CJ Stroud will be back this one?
Depends on how severe his shoulder injury is. They just say he has a shoulder injury, then say a timetable for how long he would be out. So I expect him to be starting on Saturday, but again, we'll have to see how his shoulder does this week after rest.
And Byron, I feel like the biggest story out of this game, everyone expected this. I mean, we covered, which is crazy, but the biggest story out of this Buckeye game, man, is Pope.
Tavion Pope.
Now he's ex-Buckeye already. Was dismissed from the team Sunday, and he's already in the transfer portal.
It's such a wild story how you just quit in the middle of the team. I didn't see what happened, but on Twitter they were going crazy. Apparently he was trying to come out for a play on defense. I don't know if he was supposed to or if he wasn't in the package or whatever, but one of the linebackers waved him off, and he got pissed. He threw his gloves, threw his helmet, and then later we come to find out that he tweeted "fuck Ohio State," which he deleted. So very, very bad energy from him on Saturday.
Yeah, it was such a weird thing. Like, I feel like that was a boiling point because you just don't get from just to saying basically quitting on your team in the second quarter. Like,
right.
Like, what led to that?
Yeah, it had to have been building up because that one came out from nowhere from the Ohio State fan side. But I'm sure the team knows more, and I'm sure, like I said, this probably was like just a straw that broke the camel's back.
All right, and then it's weird because he's a linebacker. So anytime anyone on the defense does something, I always have to pay attention because, like, if you are already starting then that means someone who wasn't better than you is about to take your spot. I'm just like, from a Buckeye thing. But hey, I hope he gets the help he wants. And wish him luck in the transfer portal. It was embarrassing on TV, but it was what it was.
Yep.
And so then, Byron, you already know what we got to do. We got to look at the rest of college landscape going into week 5. We're
in week 5 already.
I know, October 2nd. Byron, we got that game. Cincinnati, Notre Dame. That is this weekend, 2:30. This is the biggest game for Cincinnati because if Cincinnati can knock them off, that's a serious contention for a playoff spot, which could really shake up our talks.
I am very high on Cincinnati. Not so much Luke Fickell represent. Not very high on Notre Dame because they've been in some battles which they almost have lost.
All of them except Wisconsin. That was the only battle they've blown out. Everything else
they didn't blow them out until the fourth quarter.
Until the very end. Yep.
Battling. They were in a war until the fourth quarter. So I don't know if Cincinnati can do it. Go Ohio teams.
Right. So that's. I want Cincinnati to win. I really do. I was cheering for Notre Dame because I did not want them to lose before Cincinnati. This game's going to be huge. So it could really shake some things up. Another thing now, Byron, that we have not talked about, but now we have to because of Arkansas beating Texas A&M. You have number 8 Arkansas going against number 2 Georgia now.
Oh.
Now we have to talk about this because now Arkansas is in the top 10.
Really?
Yeah, now they're 8th. Georgia's 2. Now this game is significantly bigger than what it was a couple days ago.
Man, what if Arkansas knocks off Georgia?
That would cause some things because even though Arkansas is in the SEC West, it's still a loss. So and then you have, because eventually Georgia and Florida will be playing, if I forget if it was one of the 30th or 9th games, but they'll be playing. Then you also have who they're not in, number 1 Alabama going against number 12 Ole Miss.
Oh, dang, that's some battles in the SEC this Saturday.
That could potentially be a be careful game for the Crimson Tide. And even though Wisconsin, they did just lose, they will be hosting Michigan this weekend as well.
That's a big noon kickoff, right?
Yes, because it was already announced too that, where are they at? That Penn State, Iowa on that day, the one days we talked about, the 9th, they will be the big noon kickoff on the 9th. But just to add more spice to the 9th, depending on what Arkansas and Ole Miss do, Byron, they play each other on the 9th.
Arkansas and Ole Miss? Ooh.
Yeah, and currently Arkansas is 8, Ole Miss is 12. If they both win, they are going to be both high up. And then you have Georgia versus Auburn on the 9th, and Alabama versus now 15th Texas A&M. So it's
the 9th is getting better and better.
It is. They even have some Thursday night games. Cincinnati plays on Friday that day as well. And then it's week 9. Okay. And then week 9 is when Georgia plays Florida.
Okay.
And that's when we play Penn State.
That's another big day.
That's the 30th, and that's also when Michigan plays Michigan State. So we've been telling you guys the 9th and the 30th are really about to shake it up.
The 12th, the second kind of got low-key heat too.
The second, this weekend does. Cincinnati, Notre Dame has huge implications. It does.
Yes.
So this week is pretty big too. And Byron, also, now, when we talked about the thing, we said last week the ACC was done. Now the ACC is really done. No playoffs for the ACC this year.
Nope. The best team, Clemson, is now ranked number 25. What are they, 1-3?
1-2.
1-2.
Let me check. Don't want to be for any Clemson fans out there. 2-1. No, they're not 2-1. They've lost twice.
They're 2-2.
2-2, yeah.
And they are not looking so good. Lost to Georgia the first game, won the next 2, then lost in double overtime to NC State.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
their offense isn't good this year. Man, they don't have a line. Their offense, they don't have the weapons. Like, it's a rebuilding. I mean, now they know what it's like.
now they know what it's like.
I mean, they've had the success, which is, I mean, it happens to everyone, but it is just, you had a span also. I mean, where I have heard the Clemson fans, which I will tell them, you guys do got to relax a little. It took y'all 30 years to win that first title or whatever, 30 years. And then you've won 2 titles in 2 of the past 5 years. It's okay.
Right. That's like more than some teams have done in their whole.
Yeah. And we don't like you guys here at Ohio State because you guys have embarrassed us a couple times and we've had some battles with y'all, but it is good to, like, y'all are struggling, and this is what I always tell OSU fans, that you got to be grateful for what we have, because eventually we will have one of those struggle years. We don't know when, but it happens to everyone.
Yep. Like Ohio State was great back in the day. Then they went through their lull with rebuilding. They got good again. So I know that lull is going to come. I'm enjoying the ride right now.
I mean, we have gotten lucky. As people said, we've gone from Tressel to Urban to now Ryan Day. Do remember, we had Cooper, and Cooper wasn't bad, but we could never win. We could never beat Michigan, and we could never get to the national title because we couldn't beat Michigan. So you gotta appreciate this golden age of OSU, because just think about it, man. We're a couple plays away from us having 2 losses.
Man, we're one injury away from definitely having a loss.
So Abraham,
yes,
that would have been week 1
exactly.
On Thursday night in front of everybody.
Prime time, first game to start the college season.
So Byron, man, who are you? We're going to the Big Ten play. Like, now we're playing the East. Who are you afraid of? Like,
who am I afraid of?
Is it Penn State? They already announced we're wearing some new uniforms on the 30th, and I'm already so
Color Rush, all scarlet. We'll see how that goes. Penn State definitely makes me nervous. Michigan actually makes me nervous this year.
They're playing well.
They're playing well. They have a good running back. Michigan State also has another good running back, so they scare me. But man, Maryland, actually, the whole Big Ten East scares me, man. You just
with our defense, it's going to be week to week.
Yeah,
because of our offense stutters, that really causes some issues.
Right.
It's going to be week to week with the Big Ten East. The only thing in the college world is, like, man, I'm not impressed with Oklahoma, man. I'm not.
Everyone loves them.
They survived another one against West Virginia and spent. It's already, man, week 5. Still no front runner for the Heisman yet.
That's true.
Like, I don't know who the Heisman committee would vote on right now if they had to vote for a Heisman Trophy winner.
I have no idea either.
I don't know. I don't know who do it. But shoot. Byron, anything else on the Buckeyes? I know it was the first time we've actually blown. I mean, we beat Tulsa 41-20, but that game, we didn't get loose until the fourth quarter. Like, so this was our first dominant performance. Anything else, man, before we're Rutgers, 3:30 p.m., Big Ten Network.
Big Ten Network. I think they're 3-1. I think really, like, all the teams we have left, I think have winning records.
Currently, right now, Michigan State is 4-0. Maryland's 4-0. Michigan's 4-0. Penn State's 4-0. We're 3-1. Rutgers is 3-1. Indiana's 2-2. Big Ten East. That's there, right there.
What about Nebraska?
They're in the West.
Yeah. Oh, they're West. Okay. So yeah, the East. The East is looking really, really good this year.
Which is, no one thought it would.
No one thought it would. I'm great. It's going to be great to see some Big Ten play, because like the Big Ten games that we've had so far have been great. Like the Wisconsin Penn State game was really good. Iowa trounced Indiana. That would be an interesting game to see.
That was welcome. Iowa's telling everyone they're here and they're for real. Byron, just think about it. Next time we record, we're going to be previewing the 9th.
Man.
We're going to have to really sit and analyze the pros and cons of the winners of between Iowa and Penn State.
I mean, makes Big Ten look
like the pros for OSU, like
I know.
Pros if Iowa wins, pros if Penn State wins. Either or, one of them's going to win. But who do we want? I know we've already, but now by that time we're really gonna have to look in depth.
Yeah, man. It just depends on what Ohio State does.
That's true.
We literally have to win all of our games.
Oh,
which is, I mean, you want to win all your games, but like that Oregon loss, really, you just.
Yep. And Oregon's still there in the top 3. And again, if we did playoff things, I mean, current Alabama would be in. We're just assuming if they win the SEC. If Georgia's only losses to Alabama, they're going to be in. If Oklahoma, I mean, just like you said, they love them. They go undefeated. They're in.
Oregon's in.
And then now we're out.
Yeah.
So, like, if you just do that, we're out.
Because I don't think Oregon has.
They got the UCLA game.
The UCLA game. I feel like that's the only game they have left that's like super tough for them.
And then sooner or later, we're going to see what the committee's thinking. And wait till we get, you already know, when we see those ones, that's when we really get into it.
Yep, I think they come out after week 8, I believe.
Oof. Man, we're already 5 weeks in, man. That's crazy. Like, we're what? How many games do we play? We're almost halfway. Getting there. Oh, shoot. Byron, any closing things before we sign off?
Defense, please play like you played against Akron. That's all any Ohio State fan asks for right now. It's just play well.
My only thing with the team, don't assume anything. You have to go in there every week. It's 0-0, and you have to win that one game. If you think you got time, we do not. We've already lost. If y'all do want to make this playoff push, which you guys have already said after Oregon that you guys do what 14 did, every game's a must win, more than it already is because you already have a loss. Don't be looking around the college football landscape. Leave it for people like us to do that for y'all. And y'all got to play.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. Buckeyes, Big Ten play at Rutgers. Byron, I'm thinking, I'm feeling we're going to win by 2 scores.
I'm feeling 2 scores too. Like a 45, like 28.
Yeah, I'm seeing that too. A 45-28 type game. And yeah, let's get it done. Let's go. Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.